Hi everyone, we're going to finish chapter 2 today of Toys Go Out by Emily Jenkins, and it was illustrated by Paul O. Zelinsky. I need to know the truth about plastics. Plastic confesses to Stingray the next morning as they are sunning themselves in a square of light on the shaggy rug. I can't find it in a book. Well, what do you need to know? Asks Stingray kindly. I'm sure I can answer. Their natural habitat, says Plastic, and what they eat and whether they are birds or fish or mammals. Mammals, definitely, answers Stingray, who doesn't actually know. They're very furry, Plastics. And their natural habitat is the frozen tundra, where icicles grow up from the ground and the wind whistles and it's dark 30 hours a day in winter. The Plastics live in igloos that they build with their teeth, and they eat whale meat and also seals and walruses that they catch and swallow whole. Does that help? I think it's a pretty thorough answer. Yes, thank you, says Plastic with a bit of a sniffle. I just wondered, she mentions, I'm not very furry. You probably lost your fur in an accident, says Stingray. It doesn't look bad at all, though, really. Plastic tries to remember a fur-losing accident, but it must have slipped her mind. After 7 hours in front of the television, Plastic is as confused as ever. She has watched 4 cooking shows, 2 soap operas, endless commercials, and 1 after-school specials. She knows that there are plastic cups, forks, and containers, that these things are useful for taking on picnics and freezing leftover stew, and that a delightful tofu marinade can be made with only 6 ingredients. She also knows that our plastic toys may contain small plastic parts, the commercials say, not suitable for children under 3, and plastic garbage bags. But she hasn't seen any of the plastics eating whale meat or living in igloos or growing fur, though maybe the fur is hard to see on a small television screen. In any case, all the plastics look different, and most of them aren't even red. There isn't any herd like there are herds of buffaloes. The plastics don't build dams or collect pollen or live in tunnels. They do appear to be famous, and yet there are no flat plastics to whom plastic feels connected. None of them seem to have anything in common besides their plasticness, which isn't much. For 4 days and 4 nights, Plastic feels unbouncy. She doesn't play marbles with the one-eared sheep. She doesn't make jokes with the rocking horse in the corner, and she doesn't play I Doubt It with Lumpy or checkers with Stingray. She looks out the window by herself and thinks about plasticness. On the 5th night, Plastic remembers Tuk Tuk, the towel that knows about dental floss and fingernail clippers. Maybe she knows about plastics too. Plastic has only met Tuk Tuk once before, and she feels embarrassed as she creeps down the hall and stops outside the bathroom door. Maybe Tuk Tuk will not want a visit from a small, confused Plastic. After all, she is used to large and furry friends like Lumpy. But Plastic can't go on anymore staring out the window doing nothing at all at night. Slowly, she enters the bathroom. Tuk Tuk is lying in a pile. The nightlight in the bathroom glows a comforting pink, and the air is still warm from the little girl's bath. Excuse my appearance, says Tuk Tuk, who can't get around on her own. Plastic, isn't it? I'm always like this after the bath. Damp, on the floor. I'd like an iron and a fold, but this disarray is all that can be managed. Glad to see you nonetheless. Plastic begins to cry. Tuk Tuk seems like everything a towel should be. So nice, so floppy, and just so very towely. Oh, Plastic, soothes Tuk Tuk. There, come, wipe yourself on my corner. I don't mind. Plastic has a good long cry and feels better. I'm a rotten Plastic, she sniffs to Tuk Tuk. I've lost my fur. I don't know my habitat or my eating habits, or whether I build a nest or run in a herd. I'm not even sure I like what plastics are anyway. A big tear rolls onto the bathroom tile, and she begins mumbling about fake, artificial, and polymerous something or other. Oh, my dear, comforts Tuk Tuk, you're upset about nothing. It's not nothing, it's plasticness. Listen, I have something to tell you. You do? It's important. Are you ready? Plastic thinks she is. You're not a Plastic. I'm not? Plastic isn't sure if she is happy or Plastic is just your name, says Tuk Tuk. It's obvious to anyone who knows anything precisely what you are. It is? Well, of course, you're a rubber ball. I am? I've seen balls before you and I'll see balls after you. A ball is what you are, says Tuk Tuk. Tell me, do you bounce? Yes, cries Plastic, I do. And she bounces once, very high for show. And do you roll? Yes. Plastic rolls around the bathroom until she crashes into the base of the toilet. And you have front legs and back legs? Not exactly, says Plastic, who most certainly doesn't have any. And no fur whatsoever? No, that's normal for a ball, you know. And there's the picture. What about how I don't have very much nose? Well, you mean how you don't have any nose? Yes, says Plastic. Well, that's normal too, explains Tuk Tuk. Plastic feels relieved. I have been around a long time, says Tuk Tuk, and I have never seen a ball with fur or legs or a nose. You're a ball, Plastic, says the towel, wrapping her terry cloth corners around her friend. Don't let anyone tell you different. I'm a ball, cries Plastic. A ball, a ball, a ball. Suddenly she feels bouncy again, really, really bouncy. She jumps in the tub and rolls around super fast. She bounces herself so high she hits the ceiling. A ball! Enough now, I need a rest, says Tuk Tuk. All right. Plastic stops bouncing for a second and gives the towel a kiss. Then she goes rolling, bouncing, rolling, bouncing, bounce, bounce, bouncing down the hall to the bedroom. The next time we meet, I will start the next chapter. I'll see you then.